Hi, my name is Caitlin. I'm a librarian at the Kalamazoo Public Library. I've missed talking with patrons about the books that they've been reading since we've been closed, so I figured I'd take this opportunity to share with you what I've been reading lately. First book I want to recommend is a book called Inland by Téa Obreht. This is historical fiction. It takes place in the Arizona Territory between the mid 19th century to the late 19th century, so before Arizona became a state. The characters are trying to survive in a very harsh climate during a drought where there is not water accessible. It has elements of magical realism. I think of magical realism as fantastic things that happen in a realistic setting, and I really love it. It's really enjoyable, and this is a great example of magical realism. This book is available as both an ebook and an audiobook through our app, Cloud Library. You can get it at the App Store or Google Play, and you just need your library card to access it. The next book that I'd like to recommend is a book I'm currently reading. So I haven't finished it yet, but it's so good I'm willing to recommend it before I finish it. It's a book called The Turner House. I was immediately drawn in by this book because the characters seem so real to me. It's a family saga that takes place in Detroit in the mid 20th century till about 2008. If you like family sagas, this is a really good one. It also is really fun to read a book as a Michigander, reading about neighborhoods and streets that I recognize in Detroit. So I recommend this one. It is available, I believe, through our app Libby. So Libby is another app we have available. You can just get it from the App Store again and use your library card to log in. The next book that I'd like to recommend is one called Such a Fun Age by Kiley Reid. This is a really good example of racism in the 21st century and how it can be perpetrated by people who have good intentions. The story takes place around a young Black woman who is a nanny for a family, a wealthy white family, and she's racially profiled while she is out with the white child. It kind of devolves from there where people try to help her out, but their idea of help is not really what she needs. I found this book to be a really fast read because I was really drawn in by the story, and I just really loved it. So I highly recommend that. I believe it's available through our app Libby. The last book I want to recommend is one called Circe. Circe is by Madeline Miller. This is a retelling of the story of Circe. So Circe is a minor character, a witch in the Odyssey. And so she's a minor character in Greek mythology. So Miller takes the opportunity to kind of flesh out her story. She's a really strong character who doesn't let fate determine what her outcomes will be. I think that this is a great read, even if you aren't familiar with Greek mythology at all. You don't have to know about it because it's a good story in and of itself and a really strong main character. I also think this is kind of a fun read now because Circe is isolated on an island, and it just being that we're all kind of isolated right now, this is a book that I think you can really relate to. This is also available through Cloud Library. So I hope that you will take the opportunity to check these out. I'm also really interested in seeing what everyone else is reading. So you're welcome to share through our social media what it is that you've been reading while you've been quarantined. Thanks for listening to me. I hope you all stay safe and take care.